Good day. Let me ask you something that might hit a little close to home. Have you ever had that moment where you're exhausted, you've done everything, but nothing seems to be working, and you're not where you want to be? You have a goal, you have something you really want to do, but you're not reaching it. If so, you're like many people, and that's what this video is going to be about, because there's many people in the same situation where you want to do something, you have a goal, you have ambition, you're putting in the effort, but it's not happening. So what's happening here is you're trying to do things without the right leverage. Excuse me, because leverage is so critical. If you have leverage, it's going to be working with you and for you. If you don't have it, then it's like you're fighting an uphill battle. And I want to show you a video, not a video, a slide right here. And this is what I'm talking about here is Archimedes had this quote, "Give me a place to stand and I will move the world." So this is the leverage you've been missing. And to me, the fulcrum here, the yellow triangle, this is personalized AI. This is what it can do for you. When you have personalized AI that knows you, it's that fulcrum. It's that thing that's going to help you be able to work on your life challenges, to get them going. Because without the fulcrum, even the strongest person is not going to be able to move these challenges and obstacles and goals that you have. It's just going to be impossible. But when you do have that, then you're in a whole different place. So the fulcrum is huge, because even a giant, imagine some huge giant trying to move something, but they didn't have a fulcrum under it. They didn't have a triangle. They didn't have a rock. They didn't have something to leverage up and move that other thing. It's going to be a lot harder. But the thing that came to my mind, and I know it's going to sound ridiculous, is if I wanted to dig a hole for whatever reason, maybe I need to put in a sewer system or build a foundation on a house. And if I was using a spoon, a little spoon, if I was using that and I'm digging a hole, okay, am I working hard? Yes. Am I working smart? No. Am I leveraging the tools available to me? No. Okay. Could I have someone else come out and dig a hole, use heavy equipment? Yeah, absolutely. A backhoe or something. But instead, if I'm trying to do that with a spoon, what am I doing? I'm feeling exhausted. I'm feeling wiped out. I'm feeling like, why isn't this working? How are other people getting this done faster? And it's literally, I'm not using the right tool. And then I just feel kind of like defeated, like what's going on here? And the thing that I want you to realize is that you don't need more willpower, but I love motivational quotes. You don't need more motivational quotes, more motivation. It's not about willpower. It's not about motivation. It's, are you using a system that's actually aligned with you, that's actually helping you, or are you just trying to grind it out, push through it, and get that job done? Now, the sad truth is that, there's the 80-20 rule where 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. But what if you're working on the 1% that is doing nothing? You're doing excuse me, you're doing 100 things, but you're just moving the 1%. You're not getting the leverage you want. You're not getting things to shift and move. That's like that spoon. You're trying to use a spoon instead of other things that would get the job done a lot faster. So leverage is the force multiplier. If you look at leverage in any kind of situation, it could be financial, it could be like building a house or digging a hole, the right tools, the right setup, it's going to make all the difference. And if you're doing the other things, it's going to be a lot harder. So with the right tools, it doesn't just make it easier, it makes other things unnecessary. Like if I get a backhoe in here, does it make the spoon just seem irrelevant, unnecessary, and actually silly? Yeah. And that's how some of us are living life. We're trying to take the spoon and dig a hole rather than use the right equipment. And when we find what matters most, when we find that lever and that leverage, then we can let it do the heavy lifting rather than ourselves. Like if you look at keystone habits, and keystone habits are like the one thing that would change everything, the one thing that would make all the difference. So if you look at like exercise is like a keystone habit, because that can affect your mood. It can affect how your health, your confidence. I mean, that's just one thing. If you are getting out moving, that's going to help you in the exercise. In relationships, if you just focused on active listening, if that was your one lever, your one leverage point, and you just said, look, I'm going to be a master at active listening, and the people around me are going to think I'm amazing, but I'm just leveraging that superpower of developing active listening and really hearing what the other people are saying. In finances, if you set things up on auto, like auto savings or auto investing, that is going to be a leverage point that's going to totally help you. And I don't know, I talked about health a little bit, but like in health and wellness, another leverage point could be sleep. There's lots of studies on how impactful sleep is, but most of us don't get enough sleep. Probably me sometimes too, if I'm being quite honest. So that's what leverage is. It's finding that one thing or those few things that make all the difference. And for us right now, at this time, one of the greatest leverage points in our generation, in our lifetime, it's not physical, it's not mental, it's not all these other things. What it is leveraging AI, and not just any kind of AI, customized, personalized AI, because when it really knows you, it can make the difference. It can be that leverage that you need to get over the hump, to make the progress. It can go from trying to dig a hole with a spoon to having a backhoe. And all of us would say, yeah, you're going to get that hole dug a lot faster with a backhoe. And why is personalized AI the thing to use? Because if you look at what we're doing right now, it has all this knowledge, it has all this information, but if it doesn't have the context and it doesn't have the content of who you are, then it's like a stranger giving you advice. But when it does have that, it can help you have growth. It can bring out more of your creativity and help you transform in the way that you want. But most of us are using AI just to write emails, to help us do a letter, to answer, to be a Google search, kind of that kind of a thing. Because a lot of people switch from searching from Google for stuff to like ChatGPT or Claude, a different AI platform. But if you're just using it like that, I want you to think about fire. Now, fire can create steam and water. It creates steam engines. Fire can heat things. Fire can do all kinds of stuff. But what if you were just using fire to roast marshmallows? That's the only thing you were using it for. We would say, man, you're really underutilizing it, right? And that's like AI. So many of us are underutilizing what it can do, because it's more than just doing your homework, more than just writing your paper. What it can really do is help you unlock your potential, help you expand and elevate where you want to go. And to me, it's really exciting. I mean, I feel like I'm just on this mission to help people realize this, because so many people are unaware of it, because it can see what you miss. In other videos, I've talked about blind spots. We all have blind spots. If you don't know what you don't know, how can you work on that, right? But if AI is trained on you and it can start seeing like, oh, you got this pattern, you got this, then you can fix it. It remembers what you forget. Okay, it's got a massive memory, and most of us, we forget things. But AI, it's got it in there. It's going to remember it, and you can use that to help you. And then it reflects back on who you could become and stop repeating these old pattern loops. because most of us were on these old pattern loops. We do the same things over and over and expect a different result. So that's why I say AI is the fulcrum. It's the triangle on that board that gives you the leverage, and where you move that is really critical. So yeah, instead of feeling like overwhelmed, you can feel excited, because what it can start doing is looking at what is holding you back, what is getting in your way, and it can cut to the chase a lot faster. It can start seeing things. Now, I don't say this is like the end all be all. Just like I've gone to counseling, and sometimes you go to a counselor and they are right on the money, right on the spot, and you're like, woo, that was really good. Other times you're like, man, I don't know where this person came from. I don't agree with it at all. You can give a little pushback, give a little more context. And that's the same way with AI. I don't just take it as like whatever it tells me first is the gospel. But through working with it, through interacting with it, through it knowing me, what I found is the advice and the information it gives me is better and better. And I have to push back less and less, but I'm still always have that tool available. I'm never going to take anything, just 100%. That's the truth. We have our own intuition, we have our own gut instincts, we have our own mind to do that, but it is another tool and it's another leverage. Just like, cars are great, but it doesn't mean that your car doesn't need maintenance. Same with personalized AI. I'm not saying it's like the end all be all, but it is really a tool that if you're not using, other people are, and they're getting the leverage, they're getting the advantage versus you're not. Now, you might be thinking like, okay, this is great, but what would my next self do? Because that's what it's going to ask you. It's going to like, what is your future self? What are you going into? What are you growing into? And then it can also say, you said you don't want to do this, but you keep avoiding that. Why is that happening? And are you living from fear, or are you living from alignment? We know how powerful it is to live in alignment, to live from love. But what if you got fears and other things going on and you're not aware of those? What if you had someone like personalized AI to help show you that so that you could get that figured out? Okay. So I really want you to realize that when AI is trained on you, when it really knows you, then it can know your patterns. It can help you grow. It can help you with your vision. Like whatever your goal and your vision is, it can help you achieve that. Now, it's not because it's just a tool. I use it as a thinking partner. Like if I honestly think of it like Data on Star Trek, where I can ask it questions, get some feedback. And what I'll do sometimes is I will actually have like 4 or 5 different AI apps up. And what I will do then is I'll ask ChatGPT, I'll ask Gemini, and I'll get different things. And I've noticed that they don't always give the same answer. But the one that I've trained on myself, it will say, okay, here's the information. Here's some stuff that will probably be a little upsetting to you or challenging to you, or things that you might really want to question a little bit. And these other ones are not doing that, not because they're bad or anything, but just they haven't been trained in knowing what I want and how I want to use that leverage to win, to have breakthroughs, to be my best self. And that's really what we're all trying to do, right? If you look at any kind of self-help or personal development stuff, it's trying to have you be your best self. And that's really what I want here. Is personalized AI is helping you reach your goal, helping you be your best self that you can be. Because here's the truth. You already have this power at your disposal. You already have AI at your disposal, but you probably haven't used personalized AI, and you certainly haven't activated the full potential of AI. Like they've done studies and they've noticed like certain industries, some people are already using it and they're getting massive results, and then other people aren't. Just like in the past, if you look at like farming, Most farmers thought you wouldn't use a tractor. Now, when I see people out in the country and they have a tractor, it just seems natural, right? But that was not natural to begin with. A tractor was considered a foreign object, a new technology, just like AI. And it was like, what are we going to do? We got horses, we got this, we've always done it this way. But technology, if you embrace it, it always gives you an advantage in the end. Okay. It might be some rough patches getting to learn it and know it, but it's going to be a big benefit because it's going to learn from you, and it can multiply your impact because it's learning your habits. It's helping you compound things and helping you take that and then transform it into what you're doing. But only if you stop treating it like a toy or a nuance or something that's just a fancy Google search. Okay. Because the world is really going into two groups: those who use AI and really leverage it, and those who get left behind. And I don't mean to be dramatic or brutal or whatever, but just think about cars in the past. If you didn't get a car, eventually, yeah, you could walk or you could ride a horse, but eventually that just kind of became not the normal way that we use transportation, the way we get around. So it's like, which side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side where we're moving towards, or do you want to be the side where we're resisting stuff? We're resisting it because we're like, I don't like this. This is uncomfortable. I've never done this before. Well, there's been a lot of things we've never done before, right? Before the wheel was invented, we never used a wheel. Before we learned how to use Velcro, right? We never use that. Now we use it all the time. We don't think anything of it. Okay. So there's all these different things that can help you. And I really want to encourage you to come to my Saturday free live webinar where I can help you learn how to personalize your own AI. And so it can see your patterns. It can see what your resistance is, because you have resistance. Maybe you're resisting me on this right now. I don't know. But it'll know your resistance. It'll know your priorities and dreams, but only if you train it to. Okay. And when you do that, then it's going to be a great leverage point to help you, because it can break lifelong patterns, things that are holding you back. And it's really the system that you've been missing. Because if you look at like, why haven't I got what I want? There's going to be a reason for it. And if you don't know what it is, wouldn't you want someone to help you so that you can finally have the leverage that lifts you? I'm going to go to Alec right now.
You were never meant to do this alone. You were never meant to hold the entire world on your back. The people who thrive in the next 5 years won't be the strongest. They'll be the ones who stack the right leverage. Personalized AI is more than technology. It's a sacred mirror, a strategy companion, a catalyst. The real question isn't whether it works. It's whether you're willing to be known deeply enough to unlock what it can really do. Your next shift is already waiting. Let's move the world together.
Where in your life are you using force rather than leverage? So think about that. Think about something in your life. Where are you trying to grind it out, push, or you're just not getting the results you want? And how could you use leverage, right? If you're trying to dig that hole, not using a spoon, but a backhoe. And what's one belief you've outgrown but haven't updated yet? Have you even thought about that? Have you thought about, like, you have grown up and changed your clothes, got new shoes, but what's a belief that you've substituted out and replaced? Or what's a belief that if you did do that, it would have a big impact? And what's one change that would help you truly be your best self? Do you know that? Are you aware of that? Do you have anything telling you what that could be? Now, I want to leave you with something that really shocked me, and that was a study by McKinsey and knowledge workers, which fits literally most of us, because that's entrepreneurs, creators, leaders. Most of us deal with some kind of knowledge. And it said that 62% of their time on task could be automated or optimized with existing tools right now. So think about that. 62% of what people are doing could be automated if you're in the knowledge industry with AI or other tools. So what that means is literally about 2/3 of what we're doing, we could be not doing. Now, some people might say, well, geez, I don't know about that. What would I do if I had all this free time? And to me, what it does is it frees up your time to give you more opportunities. If we look back when everyone was a farmer, you woke up when the sun came up, you went to bed when the sun went down. If you look at life over time, we've gotten more and more leisure time with technology, like the tractor and other things, candles and going to lights. So we've had a lot more leisure time and we enjoy that, but it's always because we are embracing these new technologies. And it's not your fault because most of us were never taught this. We weren't taught to look at what's out there, what technology or devices can I use to help leverage me. And I want to leave you with this here. The greatest cost in your life isn't time or even money. It's the cost of not knowing where your leverage truly is. Because if I asked you, what's the one thing you could do that would leverage everything, that would make a big difference, that could impact your health, your finances, your relationships, you would probably say, I don't know. And I'm telling you, personalized AI can be that leverage tool if you allow it to, if you let it be the opportunity that's right in front of you. And again, you don't need more discipline. You just need to use that fulcrum and move it in a position that gives you maximum leverage, maximum power. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, send me an email, write a comment. I appreciate those that have done that. And all the best to you. Have a great day.